go. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back with another episode. Scary Hours Podcast. Today we're talking about which cube is it? Which cube is it? Because apparently, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's two cubes. There's two cubes, and they're both called the cube. And I'm trying to figure out which cube is it supposed to be. Did you guys know there was more than one cube? I don't think you guys knew this. I don't think you guys knew that there was more than one cube. So there's a cube in the Bible, and then there's a cube in the Quran, apparently. Did you know this? Did you, like, seriously, raise your hand if you knew that there was more than one cube. Did you know that this concept of the cube or the Kaaba is just a Jewish narrative? Did you not know that? Did you know that Kaaba means cube? Did you know that? Or did you guys not know that? So I'm trying to figure out today, which cube is it? You know, are we supposed to be facing the cube that's in Mecca? Or are we supposed to facing the cube that's in Jerusalem? That's the question today. So many people don't know that there's supposed to be a cube in Jerusalem. It's called the most holy place. And the most holy place is actually described in the Bible in the book of Kings. 1 Kings chapter 6 verse 20. God was instructing the people there that they had to build a cube. That they had to build a cube in Jerusalem in the temple, and it's called the most holy place. Okay, did you guys know about that? That's why, because you guys might wonder, right? Like, where does this idea of a cube come from? Where does the idea of the Kaaba, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let me see if I can pull this up for you guys to see this notion. And in the meantime, if any Muslims want to come up, any Muslims that want to come up and talk about the cubes, the Kaabas, the one in Mecca, the one in Jerusalem. Let's see if you guys want to talk about it. I'm going to pull up 1 Kings here as a reference. 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 20. Let's see. Let me put it on the screen so you guys can also see it. 1 second. That's right. Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen for me so we can get more people watching. And let's see what we got. Boom. Okay. I want to set this up in a way that you guys can see it, because people always complain that they can't see it. Whoop-dee. I want to make sure everybody can see it. Okay. All right, so make sure you guys can see my screen. You guys see the screen here, right? All right, so looking at the screen, I want to make this a little better. So you can see from looking at if you're looking at what I'm looking at, it says the inner sanctuary. Oops. Says the inner sanctuary was 20 cubits long, 20 wide, 20 high, overlaid with the inside of pure gold. And he also laid the altar of cedar. So do you see? This is where the cube comes from, guys. Stop making Vine boom. It is very disrespectful. No, Amayadi Haya. Amayadi Haya, are you able to join on TikTok? Let me ask you. We got people commenting on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Scary Hours Podcast. Look, I'm showing you so you can join my TikTok. Scary Hours Podcast Live. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Let me get that out of there. Let me type it again. For people on YouTube who are wanting to join, this is my TikTok. Scary Hours Podcast Live. Okay? This is where you could join the convo. If you want to join me, you could come up. I'll let you come up and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, okay? Let me pin that message. All right, so Jim says read Job, Samuel, Deuteronomy, whatever. Jim, that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about today, Jim, okay? Just calm down, okay? We're not talking about that. Today we're talking to Muslims and we're trying to figure out which cube we're supposed to be facing because the Muslims got their cube, right? Everybody knows the Muslims has their cube. Whoop-de-whoop. It's the one, that black one that you see right here, right? That cube right there, that's the Kaaba, right? The Kaaba in Mecca, right? But then where did this concept come from, right? About the Kaaba in Mecca. Okay, that's what I'm trying to show you guys. So when you look at where it comes from, it actually comes from, like everything else, comes from the Bible. So you look at here, 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 20. The inner sanctuary was 20 cubits long, 20 wide, 20 high. What does that describe? A cube. Okay? He overlaid, so let me see if it gives you more context. Let's see. Read full chapter. So you see, he says here, Solomon builds the temple. Okay? And I want you guys to understand why this is very important. Okay? It says Solomon builds the temple. So what temple did Solomon build? Solomon's temple, right? Where is Solomon's temple? It used to be in Jerusalem, but it no longer exists. Why not? Because currently on top of the Jewish Solomon temple, where that used to be, there's currently a Muslim mosque. Okay? Are you guys piecing this together? Why is there a Muslim mosque on top of the Jewish Solomon's temple? Okay? I want you guys to ask yourself that. We got a guest that wants to come up. 1 second. Let me let you up, sir. What's up? How do you say your name, boss?
SPD.
SPD. All right. How you doing, SPD?
Fine. So I used to talk to you about Surah 9,
Okay.
and there actually isn't any compulsion to religion.
SPD, you don't want to talk about this topic then? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, because I didn't correct you in Surah 9.
Okay. So you want to go back to the Surah 9 conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, we could do that if you want. No problem. But let me just give you some info real quick. I just want to see what you think. So you know the Kaaba that's in Mecca, right?
What does that do with the Bible?
I'm gonna get you. We're gonna get there. You know the Kaaba that's in Mecca, right?
Yeah.
All right, it's that thing that looks like that black cube, right? You see it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you speak Arabic? I forgot if you speak Arabic or not.
I don't.
Okay, do you know what Kaaba means?
Not exactly, but I know what it is.
Okay, Kaaba means cube.
Okay.
All right. So I want to know where you think the concept of having a cube as the most holy place, where does that come from?
From Abraham and
Okay.
Ismail.
Okay. So let me show you where that comes from, okay? In the Bible, okay? That's why we're pointing out today real quick. Before we go, we're going to go to 929 in a second. Do you see my screen? It says Solomon builds the temple.
Yeah.
Okay, Solomon builds the temple. You know who Solomon is?
Yeah, he's a prophet in Christianity and Islam,
Yeah,
which
so
is David's son.
David's son, exactly. So David was he told basically he laid the foundations for his son Solomon to build this temple. And then when Solomon was going to build the temple, God gave him the instructions. Okay? You understand? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I already told you I don't want to go into the Bible.
No, I know, I know. I'm just giving you this, and then we're gonna move forward to the next part. Okay. So
Mm.
the temple. So here are the instructions. The temple that the King Solomon built for the Lord was 60 cubits long, 20 wide, 30 high. The portico at that front of the main hall of the temple extended the width. Whatever. He explains a lot about all the regulations for the temple, right? But here's the most important part. In verse 20, or going towards verse 20, now they're talking about the most holy place. Okay? I want you to remember this. For Jews, this is the most holy place. Okay? Now, the most holy place, it says, the main hall in front of this room was 40 cubits long. The inside of this temple was cedar carved. Everything was cedar, no stone was seen. He prepared the inner sanctuary with the temple to set the ark of the covenant of the Lord there. Now, look at this, verse 20. The inner sanctuary, meaning the most holy place, was 20 cubits long, 20 cubits wide, and 20 cubits high. Right? So what is it? What do you get when you have something that's perfectly squared? Same height, same length, same width. What do you get?
A cube.
A cube. So do you think that's a coincidence?
Like you're trying to say Solomon's builded the Mecca.
No, I'm not saying that yet, but what I'm asking is do you think it's a coincidence that the Jews had a cube or a Kaaba, right? Way
Hmm.
before the Muslims had a Kaaba.
I
And it used
mean,
to be in Jerusalem.
we did used to pray directly at Jerusalem.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. Why did you guys used to pray at Jerusalem or to Jerusalem? You didn't used to pray at Jerusalem. You used to pray to Jerusalem, right? Towards Jerusalem, right?
Yeah, at like the most populous worship place.
Why?
Um, I really don't know, but Prophet Muhammad didn't want us to do that, so he wanted Allah to make us pray at the Hajj.
Perfect. So that's almost, we could say, an acknowledgement that even Muhammad knew that the most holy place was in Jerusalem.
I mean, the Mecca wasn't created yet, so
I understand that, brother, but remember, this should not be about Mecca, right? This should be about the most holy place, which belongs to God. It doesn't belong to a people or a country or none of that, right?
I mean, I'll repeat that again.
The most holy place should belong to God, right?
Um, you could say that.
Okay. So if God has a holy place and he instructs you to come to make it, and it just so happens to be a cube, right? How is it
Mhm.
possible that Muhammad all of a sudden he has his own cube and somewhere else?
Um, I mean, how you gonna try to bake me in a Bible book? I don't agree with the Christians.
I know you don't, but you're Muslim, right?
And didn't they rewrite in their book?
We're going to talk about that, but you're Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as a Muslim, shouldn't you want to know where this concept of a Kaaba comes from?
I mean, yeah, but like I wasn't ready for that. I was ready for Surah 9.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to Surah 9 now. But I just want you to keep that in your mind, okay? I
Yeah.
don't know how you feel about it, but just think about it. Okay, there's already a Kaaba supposed to be in Jerusalem, and it's in the Bible described as the most holy place. Yet the Jews aren't even allowed to build it because the Muslims have a mosque on top of it. I want you to think about that. And this actually ties
Mm.
into the aggression stuff that we're going to talk about. All right. So now let's go to Surah 9, right? How did we get here? Where we have Muslims and Jews unaliving each other, they hate each other, they're fighting over this same piece of land, right? I'm showing you it's because Muhammad took the holy place and he took their holy place and he's not allowing them to have it. Okay, and so let's go to Surah 9. Did you have something that you wanted to say before I start? Something that maybe you researched since the last time we talked?
well, I know that a disbeliever can ask for peace, and the Muslim will give him peace in 9:6.
All right, let's read it. Okay, let me pull it up for you. Okay, can you see it? Can you see my screen? Does it read good?
Yep.
Should
Yeah,
I make it bigger or is it good?
it's good.
It's good. All right, so let's go to 9:6. You said right. And everybody, give me a follow. We're trying to reach our goal today to reach 4,000 followers. I think we're like 40 people away. If you're not following, follow. All right, so 9:6. You said.
Yep.
All right, 9:6. Okay, so 9:6 it says, and if any of the polytheists seeks your protection, then grant him protection so that he may hear the words of Allah, the Quran. Then deliver him to his place of safety. That is because they are the people who do not know. Okay, I'm with you. What are we pointing out here?
It just shows that um people aren't killed because they're disbelievers.
Okay. So what does that mean to you? That means this is all good?
Uh, it's not showing compulsion to religion.
Okay. So let's see if we break that apart a little bit. What are they being
And
saved for here?
um, I don't know, like let's say it's war, and they wanted to find a peaceful place, and the Muslim gave them peaceful places.
Okay. Now let me just see. I don't know. I thought I had pointed this out to you last time, but I don't know. It sounds like maybe you didn't catch it last time. So let's see if we catch it now. Do you see what it says here? And if any of the polytheists seeks your protection, then grant him protection so that he may hear the words of Allah, the Quran.
I mean, yeah. Also, give him dawah.
Right. So the question is then, what happens if the idolater does not stop being an idolater?
Um, well,
I can't hear you.
let
Your phone got cut off.
disbelievers.
You're still. I still can't hear you. It's like you got bad reception, something like you get bad connection.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Really,
Now you went away again. It sounds muffled. Like it sounds like
disbelievers, if they want peace, give them peace.
okay, brother. You're still cutting off, but what I just heard you say is if the non-believers want peace, give them peace. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now the question here is this, brother. These non-believers, right? This is in Mecca. This scenario is happening in Mecca, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So what happens if the non-believers don't want to be Muslim? If they want to stay like quote unquote idolaters, can they stay in Mecca?
It's easier
Huh?
if they pay tax.
No, that's not true. But even if we were to say they did do that, that's only for the people of the book. That's not for the idolaters. You have to be a Christian or a Jew to pay the jizya.
No, I'm pretty sure it's for every disbeliever.
No,
Last time I checked.
it isn't, brother. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Look at this verse. Hold on. Let me just scroll a little further down the story so I can tell you what I'm showing you. In the Quran describes two groups. Okay, there's the polytheists, and then there's the people of the book. Okay, let me show you. So look at verse 28. You see what it says here?
You who have believed, indeed, the polytheists are unclear, so let them not approach Masjid al-Haram after this their final year. And
Yeah,
if you are fear private, Allah will enrich you from His bounty if He wills.
yeah. So
Indeed, Allah is.
Yeah, so let me show you. So it says, "In O you who I believe, indeed the polytheists are unclean," right? So here he's talking about the polytheists, right? Now we go one verse
Hmm.
down, verse 29, and who's he talking about here? Fight those
Like,
of the people of the book. So is this the
mm,
same group?
not really.
No, it's not the same book. It's
But
two different people. I mean, hmm?
you didn't prove jizya is only for people of the book.
All right, I'm going to show you that. But first, we agree that he's talking about in one surah he's talking about the polytheists, and the other one he's talking about the people of the book, right?
I mean, he could even be talking about people of the book when he said disbelievers. You don't know when.
He didn't say disbelievers, brother. He said polytheists.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
So what's a polytheist?
A person that believes in many God.
Many gods. Yeah. So do Christians and Jews believe in many gods?
Um, Christians, yeah, but they're still the people of the book.
Right. So let's just say not the Jews for sure, right? According to your
Yeah.
narrative. And even according to the narrative here in the Quran, if you look one verse down, he tells you what they believe. So he says, the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. So the only problem he has with the Christians and Jews is that they say somebody is a son of Allah, like basically saying partners with Allah, right?
Yeah.
So here, this is the difference between the polytheists and the people of the book.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So now, what is he saying? Now, who's the jizya for? So it says clearly, fight those of the people of the book who do not truly believe in God in the last day and who do not forbid what God and his messenger have forbidden and who do not obey the rule of justice until they pay the jizya or the tax and agree to submit. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
And I'll tell you, and I'll show you even further why this is talking about those people and not the polytheists. So let me show you even further. So you know what the tafsir is, right? I think I showed you that. I don't know if I showed you this last time, but you know what the tafsir is, right?
Mm, yeah.
So look at again verse 29. He kicks out the polytheists from Mecca, right? Or verse 28. I'm sorry. Verse 28. He kicks out the polytheists from Mecca, and then verse 29. He says, fight the people of the book so that they can pay the jizya, right? Now let me show you the tafsir for all this. So when you go to the tafsir, look what it says here. So let them not come near El Masjid al Haram after this year. This ayah indicates that the idolaters are impure and that the believers are pure in the Sahih, as is in the following, right? And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of his bounty. Muhammad bin Ishaq commented, the people said our markets will be closed and our commerce disrupted and what we earned will vanish. So Allah revealed this verse. And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you from his bounty. And feel themselves subdued. This ayah means this will be your compensation for the closed markets that you feared would result. Therefore, Allah compensated them for the losses they incurred because they severed ties with the idolaters by the jizya they earned of the people of the book. Do you see it? So he's saying when the Muslims severed ties with the idolaters because he kicked them out of the market, he kicked them out of Mecca, which was a market, right? When he kicked them out of Mecca, then he said, go fight in Christians and Jews to make up for that loss of income. That's why it can't be the same group of people.
I'm not sure, but because like we even used to fight people of the book.
Say that again, what?
We even used to fight people of the book, so I can't confirm you that.
I don't, what are you trying to say? I'm telling you, you fought people of the book. Why are you telling me the same thing that I'm telling you?
Oh, I thought you were like saying only people of the book only do jizya.
Yeah, only they do jizya, but what are you getting at?
Um, show
They
me how um polytheistics don't do jizya.
okay. Let's
Like,
look
do
at
they
it
have to
again.
move out?
Yeah, let's look at it again, brother. So let me go back to the verse and try to follow what I'm saying here. So look at verse 29 or verse 28. Indeed, those who have believed the polytheists are unclean, right? The polytheists are unclean. So let them not approach al Masjid al Haram after this year. The polytheists were at this time were the Quraysh pagans, right? That used to live in Mecca, right? Hello? Okay, your phone's still cutting
Yep.
out, but yeah. So here's the polytheists that used to live in Mecca, and they're no longer allowed to come to Mecca according to this. And then it says here, and if you fear privation, Allah will enrich you. So what does it mean to fear privation?
Mm, like fear privacy.
Privation means poverty. So you can see that when you read the tafsir. Privation means poverty. So even here it says it right here. You see in this translation it says, if you are afraid you may become poor. You see what it says that? Okay. Your phone's still cutting out, but so why would the Muslims be afraid of becoming poor here?
Mm, no, what would happen? Um,
You're still
they
cutting.
became poor.
Your your connection's still bad again. Can you say it again?
They became poor.
Why would they become poor? Is what I'm asking you.
I don't know. Maybe they spent too much money or something.
No, let's read it again. It's all in the verse, brother. He's telling you everything in one verse. Believers, those who ascribe partners to God are truly unclean. Do not let them come near the sacred mosque after this year. If you are afraid you may become poor. So what he's saying is when they don't let the idolaters come near the sacred mosque after that year, then they became afraid of becoming poor. Do you see the connection or no?
Yeah, I do see it.
What's
Maybe
the connection?
because the polytheistic we're gonna help them be financial, like
Yeah.
make money.
Yeah, but remember, Mecca was a marketplace.
Mhm.
So if you kick out the polytheists from the marketplace, then it can't be a marketplace no more. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like right now. Is Mecca a marketplace?
Mm, I mean, no.
No, why? Because only Muslims are allowed to go there, right?
Yeah,
But
you're right.
before
Hmm.
but before this verse was revealed, supposedly people from all over the place used to go to Mecca and trade, and they used to have different religions. That's why they all brought their idols to the Kaaba. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so now all those people are not allowed to go there anymore. So naturally, what would happen to the marketplace?
Um, it would go away.
It will go away, right? So this is why when you read the Tafsir, that's what he says. So going back to the Tafsir, right? This says right here, this ayah means that this will be your compensation for the closed markets that you feared would result. So they were right. They were afraid of losing their marketplace from kicking out the polytheists. And then what is the solution to that? It says, therefore Allah compensated them for their losses that they incurred because they severed ties with idolaters by the jizya they earned from the people of the book. Do you see how it's two separate people? Hello? I can't hear you still. You said yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now the question is, where are these people of the book if they're not in Mecca? Huh?
Different country. Like a different country.
Brother, you gotta fix your phone because you keep coming in and like you sound fine for a second and then it messes up again. Are you on headphones?
No.
Okay, because you sound fine now.
Like a different country.
They're in a different country, obviously, right?
Mhm.
So what Muhammad is being told supposedly by Allah is that look, we just kicked everybody out of the town that we live in. Now only Muslims are here. So now we lost all that income. So what are we supposed to do? Allah says, now go fight people of the book. But where are these people? Like you just said, they're in other countries. So in other words, this is a command now to leave Mecca and go fight people for no reason other than to take their money so you can make up for your loss of income.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And this is what we call compulsion in religion because think about it. You're a Muslim, right? You just closed the markets. Now you're going out to other countries, conquering them, and telling the inhabitants of those countries, if you don't become Muslim, you have to pay the jizya.
Yeah.
Huh? You're cutting out again, brother.
It's like it's like tax.
It is
Of
a tax. It's
it's
a
like
non believer tax. We could call it a tax, we could call it extortion, whatever you want to call it, right? But think about it. If they don't become Muslim, they have to pay it. If they do become Muslim, they don't have to pay it.
Muslims have to pay zakat too.
No, that's not the
Zakat
same.
is more.
That's not the same thing. I want you to look before you get lost in other stuff. I want you to just ask yourself. You tell me what your definition of compulsion is.
Say making people forcing people to leave their religion, leave their country because of their religion.
Leave their country because of their religion?
Yeah, if you're forcing someone to leave their country because of what they believe in.
Okay. That's kind of what Islam's doing, but
And
that's not even the actual. So the compulsion in religion means you cannot force anybody to become Muslim. You should not be. You should not be.
you don't know, I don't think you really know about jizya. Jizya is for like men, not for little kids or
My
women
brother, I
or
know. Trust me when I tell you, I know more about jizya than you do. I know that there's people that are exempt from paying jizya. I think everybody knows that. There's old people that don't have to pay it. The poor don't have to pay it. The women don't have to pay it. The clerics don't have to pay it. We know that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not worried
and
about what it isn't. I'm worried about what it is. Okay, so what
and
it is
and
is
Muslim
hmm?
a Muslim country wouldn't fight for disbelievers that live in their country for free.
Yes, they would not pay for Muslim for people who are disbelievers in
Same
their
way,
country. The point is that it
same
wasn't
way,
their country.
same way as USA.
My brother, okay, let's rewind a little bit. You're going too far ahead. How did it become their country? That's what I'm asking you.
Um, they feared Muhammad because Muhammad came with like hundreds of Muslims, so they feared and they just let go.
Okay, in some cases that happened, right? And then in other cases they fought, right?
Um,
Okay, so now when you put those two together, you have the either way there was a threat of violence, right?
I'm not sure about that.
You said they were afraid. What were they afraid of?
Yeah, but not like in the war. They weren't fighting with them.
My brother, I'm sorry to
That's
break
like
it to you, but Muhammad had armies.
yeah, he did, but he didn't
It
fight
it
with them. I'm pretty
it
sure.
it doesn't matter, brother. I guarantee you that if I came to your house with my army, you would also would not fight, but you would still see it as a threat.
Yeah,
Okay, so these people were compulsed, right? That's compulsion. Are you with me?
yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's literally compulsion.
I'm gonna do some research.
You can do some more research.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely do some more research. What do you? I mean, what are you trying to? Why does this topic interest you anyway? Let's say Muhammad was going around forcing people. What do you care?
I would leave Islam
Why?
because it would be evil.
Okay, so we could just do the research right here. Do you want to just keep reading the tafsir?
Um, I'll just answer your questions with uh me taking my time.
Okay. So you don't want to read the rest of the tafsir right here?
Yeah, I'm fine. I really don't even read Tafsir.
Okay. Okay. Well, go read it then, brother. I would say go read it, and I don't know how else you're gonna do the research then without reading the tafsir. How else are you doing research?
Um, I,
Huh? You're going you're watching other Dawa bros speak about it.
using AI.
You're using AI. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta read your scholars, brother. You know what? You know AI doesn't like really know what it's talking about sometimes, right? Sometimes it mixes up things, and it's also trying to give you the politically correct answer because obviously they're a company, they're a private company. They can't say things that then Muslims are gonna say, oh, this is Islamophobic, and then get their company shut down. You got literally Ibn Kathir right here, dude. He tells you in detail what these things are. It's right here. It's just literally one page. You don't even have to read that much.
This a lot for me.
Okay, well, look, I don't want to force you to do anything. Just you tell me. If you want to come back up another time, feel totally free. But this is all I do is read tafsir, and I just try to share what it says, basically. Do you have any other questions? Still there, brother? I don't know if he's still. He dropped already. Anyway, any other Muslims want to come up? If not, we could go back to the topic at hand. Let me see. Let me pull it up here. So the topic that we're talking about today is which is the correct cube. That's what we're talking about. So why was the direction of the prayer? Why was it used to be Jerusalem? Did they have their own Kaaba? Did they have their own Kaaba over there? Because maybe this is why the Jews and the Muslims are still fighting each other till today. Does anybody think that that's possible? Because when I look at 1 Kings chapter 6 verse 20, it says that they had a Kaaba there. You can see it here, verse 20. The inner sanctuary was 20 cubits long, 20 wide, and 20 high. right? And when you look at this is actually called the most holy place. So the most holy place used to be in Jerusalem. So do you think it's a coincidence that Muslims used to pray in the direction of Jerusalem? So there's a most holy place, which was a cube in Jerusalem. And now there's a most holy place, which is a cube in Mecca. So which one is the right most holy place? Any Muslims? Why is the whole religion borrowed or stolen, we could say, from Christianity and Judaism? We got the world famous Dig. Guys, you guys are in for a treat. Because Dig is like Dig,
You're
is
the
that
most
your,
low tier Zion.
Dig, is that your picture on the profile? Dig? Where'd he go? My friend, my Ali, if you're listening, this guy Dig, he's good. He knows what he's talking about. Dig, where you at?
Give me a moment.
Okay. This is gonna be a good conversation now. See, this is I feel bad when I talk to other people who don't know too much because they don't know too much. I kind of feel bad. But I know Dig, he is educated. He gets on my nerves a little bit, but I'd rather talk to him because at least I know he knows what he's talking about. I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of the situation. Go ahead, Dig.
Shit, my friend. If you think either of us are knowledgeable, you're a joke.
I know you're knowledgeable, dude. Don't try to play it off like you're not knowledgeable, dude.
I'm
I've
not
talked to you.
knowledgeable, bro.
Okay, but at least I know
I'm the
when I'm
most.
saying stuff, I don't have to really explain it because you know what I'm saying. That's what I mean when I say you're knowledgeable.
Okay, man. So why are you trying to justify Zionism, man? Because it's sad.
Real quick, Dick, is that
You
your
really gonna
picture?
bootlick the fucking Jews, bro?
I'll tell you, Jake, is that your
Really,
picture in
bro?
the?
Bootlicking the Jews, bro?
I'll tell you why, bro. I just want to know, is that your picture in the profile or no?
Bro, I saw always see another.
That's another.
It's a
Okay, I just
funny
wanted to make
picture of a
sure.
share.
Okay. I thought you were a shake for a second. Okay, all right. So, Dick, this is what I see. Okay, I'm
You
be
think
on.
I'm that old?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know anybody from anybody. So this is what I see, Dig.
All
I
right.
see a group of people, namely the Jews, who had their own religion, all set up, all nice and dandy for them, right?
Yup.
And then I see the Muslims come and they steal their religion and they turn it Arabic. That's what I see, dude. I'm not gonna
What
lie.
makes Islam steal from Judaism? Go ahead and prove that.
I just told you. So the first one that we're talking about, the Jews have their own Kaaba in Jerusalem, and it's the most holy place,
Their own Kaaba?
huh? Yeah.
Yes, it's no longer their holy place, bro. They're a bunch of heretics. That's the thing.
Okay, but now think about what you just said and imagine that you're a Jew and you have some random Arabic person coming from miles and miles away, coming to your place telling you that you're just a heretic and your holy place is not the holy place no more.
Bro, they've been in. Oh my God, they've been exiled like how many times by now, dude? It's like they're able to handle it.
Are you telling me the
Like,
Kaaba
dude,
was never destroyed before?
yeah, but it was rebuilt.
Okay, so I guarantee you, if the Kaaba could get destroyed a million times, the Muslims will just rebuild it always, right?
Yeah, but in this case, it wasn't right. So we're able to actually, maintain our land, unlike the Jews, right? And they've been punished by God. So if they lose their land, it's because God has, ordained this for them. So
Oh,
it's not
like
really.
like 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 the Palestinians lost their land.
I mean, we're gonna take it over. We're gonna take it back. So it doesn't
You,
really
you,
matter,
but
right?
but do, but do you see how come when you say, oh, well, the Jews, that's ordained by God that they lose their land, so they don't deserve it. But when you lose your land, you're like, oh no, we're getting it back, we're getting it back.
But
Which one is
even,
it?
everything is by the will of God, right? So the crisis right now, right? This is also within the will of God, so we accept that, right? But obviously, we believe that God has, favored us, and then we are prophesized to take it over again because there needs to be another caliphate within that land. So at
Okay,
some point, we'll take it back.
but Dig, to me this seems like a question of legitimacy, right? From what I can see, I'm not a Jew, right? I'm not even a Christian, but from what I can see, it looks like the Jews had all this same stuff first.
Nah, that's if. What do you mean by Jews? Like you mean like you need to distinguish between a Jew and their beliefs, right? So I can grant you that within the ethnicity that there was some within we would affirm that with their people were once Muslims, right? But then they deviated away from the religion by rejecting, the prophets, unaliving the prophets, and doing other bad deeds, and that's why the covenant was taken from them, according to the parable of the banquet within Matthew or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so why can't they rebuild their most holy place?
Yeah, because it's not the holy place anymore. What am I supposed to do?
Dig, it's just you.
Like, it's just the truth. Like, what are you going to do?
Because you just told me,
Like,
right?
bro,
No, you just told me that God got mad at them, so He changed the holy place, right?
bro, just prove that Al Aqsa is on top of the temple. I actually want proof of that. I don't think there's any
You see how you run. Let me land my plane. You said God got mad at them, so He changed the holy place, right? So
One second.
You see what I'm saying, guys? They can't have it both ways. They just want the Jews to lose no matter what. Even though supposedly Allah took the most holy place out of Jerusalem and put it in Mecca, the Muslims still are not allowing the Jews to just build their whatever they want on their own land, because they're saying no, but that's still our holy place. So which one is it? Why is there a Wailing Wall where Jews have to go cry underneath a Muslim mosque inside of Jerusalem where they live, but yet they're still the most powerful people on the planet? How does that make any sense? How did that? All I see every day is people making fun of Trump. He went to go kiss the wall. All these people that go in to kiss the wall, it's called the Wailing Wall. They go there to cry because they can't build their holy place. And why can't they build their holy place? Why can't they build the holy place? Because Muslims don't let them do it. So Dig, God changed.
I'm sorry, but if they, I'm gonna make this clear, right? If they demolish that mosque, they're not just waging war upon Palestine, right? They're waging war upon the entire ummah.
I know.
They're waging war upon 2 billion people. So it's not even like you can do it. Go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens. It's that simple. Go ahead and destroy the temple. Let's see if you actually see that temple.
Dig, but if you keep it a buck, like it sounds like you're trying to do, you're admitting that you guys are the aggressors, not them. They're living under threat of violence from y'all.
We're demolishing you. Like, it's simple. Like, don't touch our mosque. Like, dude, it's been legislated by God that we should preserve this mosque. If you destroy it, it's a sign of the day of judgment. We'll have to take over.
I got you, Dig. But all I'm saying is that you can't have it both ways. Either God got mad at the Jews.
It's our way. It's not their way. It's our way. It's done. Like, there's nothing else. Like, what
Yo, this is crazy.
It's our way.
Let me just land my point so I can make my next point. Dig. If God got mad at the Jews and he changed the prayer direction, right? He was like, don't pray over there anymore. Praying over here. Don't pray towards Jerusalem. Pray towards Mecca. Boom. You guys built your Mecca, your Kaaba, right? Then you should not be mad about the Jews doing whatever they want in Jerusalem. But the problem is Muslims want to have it both ways. They want to say the most holy place is not over there anymore, and we want to build our most holy place over here, but you guys still can't build your holy place over here. Do you see how crazy that sounds?
I'll tell you why, okay? The difference is that the religion is false and ours is true. So it's like it doesn't matter.
Perfect. So you admit to me that the Muslims are the ones causing the problem.
If they were epistemically justified within their beliefs to take it over, then sure.
I agree.
But they're not. So that's the point I'm making.
I agree. So you're taking this to a theological standpoint, right?
Yeah. So if they're gonna make a case that they deserve the land or the temple or whatever land they're claiming, they're gonna have to prove that they deserve this land,
I
but
got
they
you. So
can't.
so
So
you're
it's not.
only
It's not
so
so.
you but all I'm saying is then what the Muslims are saying that they're the victims, etc., etc. That's all a lie.
It's not a. Look, we Muslims, whenever we conquer or like invade, we don't demolish and pulverize innocent children and women, non-combatants like the Zionists, right? So if you want to make the case that they want to conquer, fine. It's been done historically. The Jews have conquered. Even the very land that you're speaking of was conquered by Jews in the first place because it was divinely commanded that they conquer Jerusalem, okay? Israel. So it's not as if like I'm making the case that you're not allowed to conquer, you're not allowed to,
Dig, what I'm
subjugate.
what I'm asking you is, do the people know this? Do you think people know this? What you're saying right now? That I dare them to blow up our mosque, even though it's their holy place. Do you think people know that?
Bro, I think everybody knows our business, man. Don't touch our secret land. We're good, and that also includes Jerusalem. So it's like, what do you want me to do? Manifest the entire planet.
You
I'm gonna be
see,
honest with you, bro, because
I
Allah.
know, I
I'm
know it
sorry.
is.
I'm gonna make this clear. This very, dude.
I
It's just a
know.
part of our. Dude, just can I land, bro? Right.
I know.
So
Yeah,
it's just a part of our religion
yeah.
that this entire planet was
Hmm.
is something that all of the believers, we deserve this land. We
Yes,
deserve to subjugate. Dude, that's not the point. Okay,
I
you're
got you.
trying
No,
to
but pause. But pause.
exaggerate. No, okay,
Dig,
I
but
should
but look,
retract. I
no,
retract that
Dig,
because
you're
you're gonna
being
take it out of
honest.
context.
No, you're being honest right now. And the
No,
thing is that
you
this is
don't.
what
You
happened.
don't get.
Dig, let me pause. Let me pause. See
That's
what happened. This is exactly what happened. Muhammad was instructed to fight the whole earth until there is no religion except for Islam. That's in their
yeah,
hadith.
that's true. But
That's true.
the way you're painting it is wrong.
Now, what happened on the way for that to happen, right? It was happening. Muhammad did it for a little bit, took over the whole Arabian Peninsula. Then Abu Bakr came and and Omar came and they took over more. It was on the way of happening. They took over all the holy places. They conquered Rome. It was literally
We
what you
didn't conquer. We didn't take their holy land. It was our holy land, and
okay,
then we took it back.
supposedly, right?
So it's
But
like
but it was
you got it
happening.
wrong.
But it was happening, right? The Muslims were doing it. They were doing everything that you said until they got stopped.
Mhm.
Until the we could say several things happened. The Crusades happened. Spain, revolted against the Muslim invasion, and they stopped them, right? Then, long story
Yeah.
short, the British Empire, they took over Jerusalem, right? So all that stuff that you're talking about that was supposed to happen, it never happened. It got stopped.
And only because look, the Crusaders won like the first Crusade, right? Other than that, they've lost everyone. And
Yes,
if, and if,
yes. That's not my
what's
point.
the point you're
That's
making?
not my
So if,
point. My point is that the movement that you're talking about got stopped, right?
technically not, right? Since we kind of there's a part of Palestine or Jerusalem or Israel, whatever you think that island should. I don't know. I don't really care. Whatever you think that land is known by. We Muslims still inhabit that place, so it's not as if we completely lost it, right? We still pray within it. We still have our
Yeah,
mosque
yeah.
there.
I'm not this.
So,
But what I'm saying to
other
you
than
is that
persecution and loss of power, then I don't see the issue right now.
yeah, I'm not explaining that part. What I'm saying is the Muslims had every intention of conquering the whole planet, subjugating the whole planet, basically violently, right? And
Not violently.
just yes, violently. They were instructed to.
That's
Allah
not
was.
the only method. Yeah,
I'm
conquering
not
wasn't the
saying it's
only
the
method.
only method. I'm saying that's part of it, right? Obviously, if the people submit, there's no need to be violent, right?
Dude, that is a
It was done through
weird,
trade.
that's a
There's many
weird
other
but
methods of spreading
perspective.
the religion
spicy, relax, hold on.
other than the sword.
But the point is this: they were never the victims to begin with. They're just claiming victimhood now because somebody stopped them in their tracks.
No, it isn't because no, at the point that we
Who
are in history
who
right now,
stopped
right?
them in their tracks?
Okay, can I stop being interrupted? Okay, thank you. So at some point, right, the Islamic conquest ended, right? So you cannot make the claim that we continue to pillage whatever you want to paint the conquest to be, right? Because at some point we stopped, and the people inhabited that land. whether it be the Christians or the Muslims, we have maintained the
Brother,
land. We've lived within the land.
the
And
Islamic conquest never stopped, bro. The only thing that changed is the
I don't
method.
see Muslims conquering now. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, because they can't.
objectively, it has ended.
Because
But
they
at some
can't.
point, it'll start again.
Did it end because
Inshallah.
right? You just said it. Did it end because they wanted it to end or because they had to?
I mean, we had to, right? We
had
have, we
to.
have
No,
contracts. We
no,
have
no,
peace
no,
treaties.
no.
We can't-
But behind the scenes, do we not still have jihad? Are you not commanded to wage jihad, brother? Brother Dig?
I mean, jihad is not only done through fighting, right?
I know that.
I do jihad every day.
So you have
it's a-
jihad of the tongue, right? How many jihads do you have? You have
They
jihad of the
literally
tongue.
declared a
many
jihad on
categories,
nuclear
man.
weapons.
Jihad
You
of
have
the
to look it
tongue.
up.
You have jihad of the wallet, right? Money jihad, economic jihad, right?
Didn't they?
Can you
well,
have
no,
you
they
can have
declared a
what?
fatwa.
You can have
What was the
political. You can have political jihad, right?
They declared a
Okay.
fatwa on nuclear
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
weapons.
declared a fatwa.
Around-
Why did they declare a fatwa, Spicy?
But you don't think that
So that
Judaism
they wouldn't
affirms this
get
concept
bombed,
of conquering?
so that innocent women and children wouldn't be
Correct.
destroyed.
So
the way
this
that
is-
the
correct.
United States
So-
literally
so-
murdered
No
150
problem, Spicy.
schoolgirls
Spicy, no
on
problem.
the first day of this quote
Right,
unquote
right,
war.
right, Spicy.
They
right,
murdered.
Right.
They murdered them.
So think about
So
it.
you're okay with that?
Okay,
So you're okay with
Spicy.
that?
Spicy. If you're gonna do this, I'm gonna drop you. I don't have any interest in not being able to talk on my own live. So when they consider it a fatwa to not do certain types of jihad, right? Can we say that the purpose of that is to not ruin the other types of jihad?
No.
What do you mean?
No.
Bro,
no?
okay, how
So
about I
this-
name you
so
the
are you
types of
co- alright,
jihad?
Like,
So
this
are you
is so
saying
weird. Like,
so
why
are
do
you
you-
saying wait, spicy. So are you saying jihad has ended? All forms of jihad have ended?
Yo,
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, again, like this is a weird parameter
Bro,
to like
Spicy, how many
explain the
times are you
current
gonna say-
geopolitical situation.
How many times are you gonna say weird, bro? I like
As many times as it needs to get
Okay,
you to
well,
understand
well,
that, like,
the
what
only
you're
thing that-
saying
the only
is
thing that's
so
gonna
demented.
get the only
It's
thing that's
demented.
gonna okay, Spicy, you can't just
And
keep
it's borderline
making these,
racist, to be honest
Okay,
with you.
brother,
The way that you keep
say all-
associating Muslims
Okay, now
with
you're
like,
getting- keep going. Are you even Muslim, Spicy?
no, I'm not.
Oh my God, bro! Then
But
shut. You
I
don't
find
even
it-
know what
I
you're
find it
talking about,
strange.
bro. Just be quiet.
I
You're
find
not
it
even
strange.
Muslim, dude. Like, bro, just be quiet and let's talk to an actual Muslim. This guy, Dig, where'd you go? Why?
I find it strange that you're like associating all Muslims with these
because
ideas.
You have an actual Muslim that was just above you. He was literally saying, "We are commanded to fight the whole world, the whole earth." Okay, he just said that, and then you come up here and like, "Oh
Okay,
my God,
great.
you're being racist." He's admitting it.
Admitting what? But they don't have the geopolitical capabilities to do that. So what?
How is that relevant to me? That he doesn't have the
It's relevant
geopolitical
to
capability?
everything. What do you mean? It's relevant to everything.
Okay, so this is what I'm trying to explain to you then. If
So
we're
if,
the
there was
ones,
if there's a group of people, if
Spicy.
there's a group of
Can
people
you
on an
put
island,
yourself on mute and listen
hold on,
to the
hold on.
host?
Spicy.
if there's a group
You
of people on
sound
an island,
whack.
yeah, Spicy.
You have
look.
no idea what
Spicy.
you're
I'm sorry.
saying.
Spicy,
I'm sorry.
spicy,
I'm sorry.
spicy.
Like-
look. When the Muslims tried to conquer the whole earth, right? They already tried it. They conquered the Roman Empire. dude.
when did they try to do that?
When they took down the Roman Empire, did you not know that?
No, I'm aware. But wait. When did they? So wait, you said the whole Earth. I mean, so then they sailed to North America and South America, and they did all that shit that the
The
Europeans
question
did.
is, the question
Good morning
is why?
to you,
The question is
Spicy.
why didn't they do that, Spicy?
What do you mean? All empires,
Why
those
didn't-
empires failed.
What?
They were
the
failed empires.
The Muslim Empire failed, right? How did it end up failing, though?
Yeah, it was a failed empire.
How?
I doubt it had a religious bend to it.
Huh?
It was the same way that all religion. It's the same way that all empires. end.
Spicy,
They
spicy.
overexpand. Like, what do you mean?
Okay,
Are
so
you asking me how the Persian Empire ended?
Yes.
And you're somehow associating that with what's taking place today?
Dude, do you have any
brother,
idea what you're saying?
guy
Can
is
I?
big.
It
Can
just sounds.
Hold on,
It just
can I-
sounds
can I
so
talk to
dumb.
you for a
This guy's so
second?
baked. Yo, hold on. I actually
Yeah.
want to get through to this guy. Spicy. Listen to
Thanks.
what I'm saying, okay? The Muslim
Yes.
conquest came about because of the commands given in the Quran. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Has the Quran changed?
No.
No. So the Muslims who believed in the Quran when it first started, we could say basically, theologically speaking, would be the same Muslims today, right?
No.
What's the difference theologically?
What do you mean? Is that literally not the Orthodox definition? I mean, like
Spicy.
you have Orthodox Jews, you have
There's no
Orthodox
such thing as
Catholics, you have
Orthodox Muslims, dude. You're
Are
either
you
a
fucking
Muslim or you're
sure? Do
not.
you even know any Muslims? Do you know Muslims?
I do. I'm Israeli,
Spicy,
born and
spicy.
Like,
raised.
wait,
Spicy.
like this idea that like there's
Spicy,
these
spicy.
Orthodox Muslims running around.
Oh my
Spicy.
Like,
God,
bro,
this dude is.
You're okay, Spicy. Look, in Christianity, you have denominations, right? And people who believe different things. Islam's claim to fame is that they don't do that. Now, you have some Muslims who are willing to carry out the Quran, and you have some Muslims who are not willing.
this is so wild. So wild.
86% of terrorism
It's so wild.
globally is
It's like,
by
it's like, bro,
Islam.
hang on.
Spicy.
How many?
You
Like,
sound
do you
retarded.
know people that are
Oh
Muslim
my God,
that like
retarded.
don't wear
Spicy.
hijabs
Yes,
everywhere?
I have friends that are Muslim. I have family who are Muslim. What's your?
But
what's
do they
your
wear
point?
hijabs everywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your point?
I know people that are Muslims that don't.
Okay, they're not Muslim.
Okay, so they're not. Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Not only are they Muslim,
no,
but they
they-
send
no,
their
they are
children
not.
to
No,
Muslim
see,
primary
now this,
schools.
see, okay, now spicy.
Yes, they are.
Now
Yes, they
you,
are.
okay, now,
so, like,
okay.
you're trying to define who these people
Can you
are.
mute yourself
Spicy,
and
be
listen to
quiet.
what the host saying?
Be
Maybe you're
quiet.
gonna learn something.
Oh my
I got violation. I'm dropping.
Dude, that, like, you so badly need it to be real. Like, it's not. Like, these are
Yeah,
people that
Spicy,
are, like,
Spicy,
regular people.
Spicy, I'm trying to help you understand something, okay? Oh my gosh, what is the problem now? Oh, Jesus. Ali says, I just got banned on TikTok just now. Guys, hold on, let me submit an appeal, then I'm gonna answer it to you, Ali. Violation reasons. Do you agree with this decision? No. Not contain. 1 second. Okay, Ali says, I think you need to show proof that there was a Kaaba in Jerusalem along with the Safa and Marwa because that's unheard of from my end, unless you're referring to Al-Aqsa. Didn't the Jews violate the treaties with the prophets before? Yeah. So the Muslims prove it for us, Ali. They actually used to pray to Jerusalem. So do you think they used to do that for no reason? Dude, why am I wearing a jacket? Why did the Muslims, did I say the Jews? Why did the Muslims used to pray to Jerusalem? Ali? That's what you have to ask yourself. Before the Kaaba was built in Mecca, they used to pray to Jerusalem. So that tells you that there used to be a Kaaba in Jerusalem. That's like very clear. This is not debated. Muslims know that they used to pray to Jerusalem. You can find this story in the Quran and the Hadith. They used to pray to Jerusalem. So it's the same, like, why do you pray to Mecca? Because the Kaaba is there, right? And the Jews, like I was telling the last guy, that wall, you know that wall that everybody makes fun of, that people go to Jerusalem and they kiss the wall? And they say, oh, yeah, you kissed the wall. You're a loser because you kissed the wall. That wall is called the Wailing Wall. That wall is a retaining wall for the temple that used to be there. But the Romans and the Muslim empires destroyed everything that was there. and the only thing that remains is the wall. That wall is still there. So that's why Jews kiss it. They go there to cry. That's why it's called the Wailing Wall. And they kiss the wall because they're basically saying it's such a tragedy that we lost our temple that was here. And the Muslims built a temple right on top of it, which is still there. Okay? And when people say, oh, you need to go find the proof, like as if the wall is not enough proof, like there's a whole wall there. The wall is still there. There's other buildings around it. There's also the places where you shower before going to the holy place. That's still there. Those places are still there. But if you want to find more proof, the Jews have found, they still, to this day, they excavate around that area. They find a lot of proof all the time. But if you ask who's stopping further excavation further into the area, it's the Muslims. They don't allow it. They don't allow excavations. So who doesn't want to find out the actual truth? Who's not allowing for there to be further exploration, further excavation to see, okay, what does the evidence point towards? The Muslims don't allow it. They even poured cement into the foundations to completely stop excavations. Go look this up. You can look this up if you want. Dude, how do I submit my appeal to this? Any other questions? This is crazy, bro. I'm not going to be able to do on TikTok no more. I'll give you guys maybe a minute if you have any other questions on the YouTube, and then I'm gonna wrap it here because it's kind of boring when I'm not on TikTok. Or actually, I could go live on my other account. Let me see. 1 second, actually. Let me go live on my other account. Oh, but then I won't be able to send it to the tube. Let's see. Or will I? Maybe I will. Let me see something. Unless you refer to Al-Aqsa, didn't the Jews violate treaties with peace be upon him with the prophet? And yeah, no. So the Jews aren't the ones who broke the treaty, Ali. That was the Quraysh as well. Let me see if I could do this without a camera on TikTok because I got my other account. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go live on my other account real quick. See if that helps. This scenario. Add a camera. Dude, I don't have a camera right now. Oh, cool. It's letting me do it anyway. Nice. All right, let's see if I get any traction on my other account. I'll stay on longer if I have to. Let me see. Ali said, my response is that it was commanded to pray that way because of the significance of the earlier prophets. Jerusalem shared the roots with other faiths, so that's why the distinct identity was established. Yeah. So Ali, that's what the Muslims say, right? In order to get around the fact that there was a Kaaba there. That's the problem. Like when you just look at all of Jewish history, the Jews always prayed in that direction. So it just try to piece it together in your own mind. Does that make sense? That just goes along with like all the other excuses that Muslims make up, right? They're like, it's like, why did all Jews and all Muslims play towards Jerusalem? The standard historical narrative is that they had their temple there, but the Jews are like, or the Muslims are like, no, it's just the significance of the prophets in that area. Why would the prophets be in an area where there was nothing holy? Does that really make sense to you guys? And it wasn't to distinguish the roots. It was basically because the Jews and the Christians rejected Muhammad. And so once they realized that Muhammad thought that he was going to take over the religion that existed in Jerusalem, but because they rejected him, then he was like, okay, I'm just going to make my own Kaaba. And it's like, brother, we can look at it. Like I have the sources like here, look at the Bible. Right? And I know obviously you're just going to say that the Bible's corrupted, but it's right here. Look at the Bible. Within the Bible, right? You have the writing which tells you to build the Kaaba. So here, 1 Kings chapter 6, right? And it says Solomon builds the temple. So here are the instructions that were given to build the temple, right? Right, and it says right here, the most holy place, right? The most holy place, and it says he prepared the inner sanctuary within the temple to set the ark of the covenant of the Lord there. The inner sanctuary was 20 cubits long, 20 cubits wide, and 20 cubits high. That's a Kaaba. That's the definition of a Kaaba. A Kaaba means a cube. So according to the Bible, they had a Kaaba there. This is why the Muslims used to pray in that direction. So today, for everybody who's on TikTok, we're asking which is the correct cube. Jews had their own cube in Jerusalem. Muslims have their cube in Mecca. Which, interestingly enough, they used to pray to. The Muslims used to pray to the direction of Jerusalem, but then they changed the direction of the prayer to Mecca, right? And so my argument is that proves that there used to be a Kaaba there, but Muslims will tell you that's just a coincidence. Right? Is it a coincidence? So the question is it a coincidence that Muslims pray to the Kaaba that's in Mecca, but they used to pray to Jerusalem, but then they tell you, but there was no Kaaba there? Does that make sense? Does that really make sense, guys?